Tonight on CTV News, the east coast of New Zealand is on high alert. The future of CTV takes another shape, and a local business takes out the supreme title at the Champion Canterbury Business Awards.
Broadcasting across Canterbury, from the CTV studio, this is First at 5.
Good evening, welcome to CTV News, now streaming live every night at ctv.co.nz. The east coast of New Zealand is on high alert tonight after an earthquake off the coast of Chile. People are being warned to keep well away from all Canterbury beaches and river mouths until early Saturday morning. The Civil Defence says there's a risk of tsunami waves affecting Banks Peninsula and other eastern parts of Canterbury. The first wave is expected to arrive at Gisborne shortly after midnight, with Canterbury sometime later. People can expect unusually strong currents and unpredictable water flows near the shore, meaning there's a threat to beach, harbour, river and small boat activities. The waves aren't expected to floor areas near the shore, but this assessment could change tonight. Well, we have some very exciting news for you here, and it's about us at CTV, as the future of this company takes a different course. But for the better, and Chelsea Daniels has this breaking news.
Star Media has announced today its plans to purchase CTV, merging the two companies under the subsidiary company Go Network.
Yeah, so today Star Media, our Go Network subsidiary, which is our digital streaming subsidiary, has announced that we're purchasing CTV, effective from the 12th of October.
He says the news is an exciting step for local broadcasting in Canterbury, bringing the CTV brand back to local ownership.
Initially, things for the loyal viewers of CTV and for the loyal readers of The Star and our community newspapers, things will pretty much be the same. We are going to be operating at some point in October from a new studio, but we hope to maybe make some changes and make things look better. But in the long term, the goal is to keep putting out more local information and entertainment.
In an age where national news and content is overwhelming, he says the merge will only solidify the importance of homegrown content.
At the Star and Star Media Group, we're passionate about it. We're locals. We're a locally owned business. Charlotte and myself, who own the business, live here. We're bringing up our family here. So I think it's really important that we keep strong local news and information. Some of our colleagues at the bigger media companies are doing much more national reporting, and they're working out of what they call hubs and national offices, and that's fine at a national level, but we really want to keep the focus on local news for people of Christchurch and Canterbury.
He says the integration of the two locally based media companies brings an exciting chance to add new shows and more free content for Cantabrians.
If you think about the fact that it's free, a lot of other TV in this country you have to pay for, and we think that good TV doesn't need to be paid for, and good news doesn't need to be paid for. I mean, our newspapers are all free as well, the Star being the main one, but we have all our community newspapers, and the idea is that we can tell the stories of locals to locals, and of course that we can help local businesses advertise and reach those local customers.
And it's not only local viewers that will benefit.
And part of this, bringing these two, the great CTV brand together with the great Star brand effectively, is that we can really help local businesses reach the people of Christchurch and Canterbury in an even better and more cost-effective way.
He says CTV will be a viable asset to Go Network, being the leading local news and content provider in New Zealand.
The great thing about CTV is it's unique in the country. There are other local TV stations, but none of them do what CTV does. None of them produce as much local information and content, and none of them have as big an audience. So it has by far the biggest audience of any local, audience being people watching it, of any local TV in the country.
The merge will officially take place on October 12th, with CTV conducting business as usual until then. Chelsea Daniels, CTV News.
A local business has been given top honours at this year's Champion Canterbury Business Awards. Gordon Finlater has more.
There was resounding success for one business last night. Solarbright didn't just take home the Supreme Award for a small business, they grabbed themselves a hat-trick.
Not in our wildest dreams did we think we'd do as well as we did. It's an absolute privilege and an honour just to be one of the finalists. To actually win one award would have been fantastic. To win two was, as I said, beyond our wildest dreams, and to come away with the supreme winner, well, I think we're all still shell-shocked this morning, to be honest.
Since their formation in 2006, Solarbright has grown to become New Zealand's leading supplier of innovative, cost-effective solar lighting solutions. The key to their LED lighting product success is not only offering a cheaper electricity bill, but improving light quality at the same time.
There's an old adage that if it's too good to be true, it usually is. That's not the case here. One of the things that we have found is people accept that there is some savings to be made, accept that they can probably get a better lighting scheme, but are usually stunned by what we can actually achieve with this technology.
This year's awards weren't Solarbright's first success. Last year, the team took out an award for a black ice detecting road stud.
It isn't a fancy thermometer. It won't go off when it's cold. It takes into, it considers things like the temperature, the humidity, wind chill, and will only alert when all the conditions are ripe for the formation of black ice. So you don't get false alerts. If you see, when it does alert, you get a flashing blue LED light. When you see flashing blue LED lights in the road, slow down, it's icy.
Cleaning up the small business categories, Solarbright has a staffing of just 5, something they believe gives them the edge.
It's actually a great dynamic for an innovative company because we all bounce off each other. There's no... The one rule in Solarbright is there's no such thing as a stupid question. And having that as our ethos means that we can ask stupid questions, and sometimes you get stupid answers, and other times you get inspired answers. And when that happens, that's, without wanting to sound corny, that's when the magic happens. That's when you look at something and you step outside the box and you look at it in a different way. With a small team of people who are dedicated to doing this, that you can do.
With the business now moved into bigger premises, there's sure to be even bigger things on the horizon for this local firm flying the flag internationally. Gordon Findlater, CTV News.
Congratulations to them too. Well, still to come here on CTV News, a Christchurch home takes out a new design for timber. Welcome back to CTV News. It's time to show the rest of the country how to drop, cover and hold. There's still a month to go until New Zealand's Shake Out, but already 920,000 people have signed up to take part in this national earthquake drill on the 15th of October. And Christchurch Mayor Leanne Dalzell says it's important for Christchurch to get together and participate in the drill because of what we've all been through in the city. Shake Out's been created to help people and organisations get better prepared for major earthquakes across the country. And you too can sign up to Shake Out, so to speak, at shakeout.gov.nz. Well, some other positive news. Now, this time we're heading to the east. The new Recreation Sports Centre to be built on the QE2 site is finally underway with the start of the public consultation and with students in the Christchurch East area sharing ideas. Here's reporter Jared McCulloch.
Some young designers making their pitches to the Christchurch Mayor today, splashing around ideas about new leisure attractions.
Black lights to make your tiles glow, green water slides, and one of them is a big volcano.
And even a song.
If you want to go somewhere cool, I'll take you to QE2.
I thought the song was great. I was dancing away. I think that is going to be the theme song.
Students from schools around the city's east are taking part in public feedback for the new Eastern Recreation and Sports Centre.
So that we try and make something that's uniquely attractive to the local people, and hopefully those ideas will incorporate, maybe move us out of our normal thinking zone and create something that's iconic.
$6.5 million will be taken from the Christchurch Earthquake Appeal Trust to go towards new leisure toys and attractions, a project totalling just over $30 million.
Recreation facilities like aquatic centres cater not only for the young, or they cater right from the probably 3-month-old right through to the 103-year-old. So, you know, we're looking at for a totally integrated community facility.
Amir impressed with the pitch.
They don't want just a slide. They want the slide to be something like a dragon, or something that, or a snake, or something that's an animal or some sort of feature like that.
Great. I wish I was 5 again, because I could then enjoy some of them for the next 20 years myself.
Residents will have 6 weeks to make their voices heard to the Christchurch City Council to help the designing team work out what the locals want. An important step for the community.
This is fantastic. I've always said that the emotional recovery of the East has been intrinsically linked to the rebuild of QE2, and just seeing the passion today, it really is true.
It is going to take a while to build, and the more that we can engage the young people of the East in what's going to be coming, the more excited they're going to be about it.
And there are some trends in the designs as well.
Wave pools seem to be pretty popular, so do slides, but also opportunity to just jump off something high and do a big belly flop, I suppose.
Consultation closes at the end of October, with designs to follow.
Hopefully we can pull that together all before Christmas.
The new facility is expected to open by 2018. Jared McCulloch, CTV News.
The godwits have arrived. The bar-tail godwits were first spotted this week by a local. So far, around 200 have settled on the northern part of the Avon-Heathcote estuary and parts of the Bexley wetland. More are expected to arrive over the next few weeks. Each September, the godwits arrive in New Zealand, having travelled more than 11,000 kilometres over 8 days to escape the cold Alaskan winter. The godwits use the New Zealand summer to rest up and double their weight, and use the estuary as a sanctuary for feeding and roosting. I know Brian Ashby loves those godwits as well. Right, the recent success of Hayden Paddon at the WRC Rally in Australia has been well covered. However, many of you may not be aware there was also another Cantabrian competing at the event. Gordon Finn later explains.
He's the man behind the pace notes.
3, 2, 1, go. 5 left at 30, late 2 right don't. 2 left English.
David Calder has been co-driving since the age of 17, and last weekend he helped Australian driver Nathan Quinn to one of the biggest results of his career.
Look, it was an absolutely fantastic result for us, and I guess in that car that we were in, it's a 9-year-old car now. It's certainly not new technology, but it's a good package as far as a Group N car is concerned, which is essentially a standard production based car with added safety features and bigger brakes and things like that. So look, we certainly couldn't have put down a better result at the end of the rally in what we were competing in.
Quinn and Calder drove their Mitsubishi Evo 9 to 14th overall and were the first Group N car home, as well as finishing 4th in the WRC 2 class, a massive achievement in the underpowered production vehicle. The Trans-Tasman Partnership have been competing together for around 3 years now, something that came together through an 11th hour phone call from Quinn in China.
Well, the nominated co-driver for that event unfortunately had an issue with their visa, and they needed to look for another co-driver at short notice. Nathan knew of me, and I guess the fact that I was wanting to get experience overseas and writing pace notes, and got in touch literally, I think, within 12 hours of needing to leave Christchurch for Hong Kong. So the rest is history, really.
The relationship between driver and co-driver is an interesting one that isn't well documented. And as Calder explains, there's always room for development.
You're always looking to build your note system, particularly, and how you're getting maximum speed out of the car on stages. But as far as how you work together, I guess that just comes through doing kilometres together in the car and understanding how each other works. Nathan's he's a very relaxed person generally, and a lot of fun to work with, but also very, very professional in the car.
For the pair going forward, the goal is to secure a drive in a WRC2 car. Unfortunately, it doesn't just come down to talent though, with Quinn and Calder having to find the funds to secure the opportunity.
For us, it's now focusing about our target market and where we best get exposure for Nathan as driving and potential sponsors that we're going to be working with, and hopefully, ultimately, that would be a full FIA Asia Pacific Championship in an R5 car would be fantastic.
One thing's for sure though, after working with top talent in New Zealand and overseas, Calder knows his man has got the talent to get to the top.
We know Nathan has got the ability in the car to perform. He's an absolute world-class talent without a doubt. It's now about being able to pull together that funding to continue or to allow him to show absolutely what he's capable of. So.
Gordon Findlater, CTV Sport.
Still to come here on CTV News, what is happening in the world of business and your region's weather. Welcome back to CTV News. Now here's Warren Head with this week's business updates.
I'm Warren Head from headliner.co.nz. Well, today we got news that the annual growth rate of the country's economy is down to 2.4%. It's still very positive compared to many countries around this planet. And the economist was suggesting today that probably the only real effect of it coming through is that we can probably expect another cut in interest rates, which will lower your mortgage costs again before Christmas, and also cut what you get at the bank and by way of deposit, I would imagine. One of the backgrounds to this falling off is that agricultural output is down a little bit, as is manufacturing, and a little bit of a slowdown in construction, although not so it seems in this province. Midweek we had the latest milk price auction drama come through, and it was a cracker. This time the overall numbers were up 16.5%, and wholesale milk powder was up 20.6%. So over 3 auctions now, a big recovery has been occurring, and this gives confidence that the milk payout price to farmers will be there at the levels suggested, and that will be good news out on the farm. Out on the farm was very much top of mind last night at the Champion Canterbury Awards that I attended. Thank you to Little and Port Company. I had the pleasure of joining them on one of their tables, and what a good night it was. Really enthusiastic stuff. There were 51 people getting acknowledgement as finalists. Unfortunately, not everybody could get a big prize, so there were about 13 of them. And the optimism was profound. There were 1,313 people there, I believe, and they would have seen for themselves just what good things are happening out there in the city, so it's not all gloom and despondency. Well, so what happened? Well, Solarbright, that we're talking about on the news program tonight, won one of the Supreme Awards with an exciting little product, and I'll let the reporting team handle that. The other big award in that category went to a medium-large company, Central Plains Water, which is responsible for the $400 million irrigation project now turning on out on the plains. It'll make the world of a difference to agricultural output out there and to this city going forward. One of the companies related to that who helped build it was Fulton Hogan, and I just note that they had a good result recently, about $115 million, $151 million I should say, this roading construction company, despite some trying conditions over in Australia, and a big forward order book for them. So well done to Fulton Hogan, very much part of our province now, and you see their trucks everywhere. The backing that came through for Central Plains Water is all due to some support from 380 farmers who stood behind it, the Selwyn District Council, and one of our government departments, MBIE. In terms of some of the other awards, I'll just mention only 2 or 3 given the time constraint, but the Tourism Award was shared by Akaroa Dolphins for the smaller business, and the larger business went to Hammer Springs Thermal Pools and Spa. And there was an award too in the manufacturing sector for Arans Medical, which specialises in developing and making 3D scanning applications for orthotics and prosthetics. Anthony Lees, the founder and the managing director of Lees Construction, received a lot of accolade. He was awarded a special commendation for his contribution to the rebuild and the growth of his company, and you can see his cranes and his yellow signs all around town. So our chance to say congratulations, Anthony, on a fantastic year, and well done with the award. On the business front, in terms of big deals, well, the one announced this week was that a Shanghai company called Shanghai Mailing is to take up 50% of our biggest meat co-op, and that's Silver Fern Farms. That's a big deal, about $260 million in cash if that goes forward. 16,000 shareholding farmers, many in this province, engaged with Silver Fern Farms, so everybody watching the outcome of that still requires official consent. And in that space, I'll just mention that today the Crown knocked on the head a proposal by a big Chinese organisation to buy the Lochinvar station near Taupo in the North Island. So all things are considered, it's not necessarily a rubber stamp from the Crown these days. And just concluding, just note that on the Chinese front, they are wonderful people when it comes to putting their money where their mouth is, and their big airline has come through to town with a new deal which will see China Southern Airlines flying the Boeing 787 Dreamliner into the city, and that's estimated to be worth about $100 million to this economy. We'll see a lot of new faces, but it also means that we open another new route to the rest of the world. I'm Warren Head for headliner.co.nz.
Thanks, Warren. Now time for the region's weather.
Kia ora, Canterbury. Well, today we saw cloudy skies, however still quite mild temperatures. Tonight we are expecting those northerly winds to die off. Today's highs first up, a lovely warm 22 degrees for Timaru, 19 there for Temuka and Geraldine. Central Canterbury, Christchurch was on a spring temperature of 21 degrees today, your high, 19 there for Akarawa and Darfield, 20 for Leaston and 22 for Ashburton, Methven on 17. Heading further north, 19 degrees was shared by Calder, Hamner Springs and Oxford, a little bit warmer for Rangiora and Amberley on 20 and 18 for Culverden and Cheviot. Over to the Alpine region, 15 for Lake Tekapo and 7 for Arthur's Pass. Tomorrow for Timaru is looking lovely and fine during the day. However, southwesterly change in the evening bring a few showers and potentially snow to 300 metres. Ashburton, you can also expect dry conditions for your Friday. However, Friday evening is looking cold and a few showers coming through as well. Christchurch, your high during the day is 15. However, a southwesterly change could be bringing snow to 300 metres for the Port Hills. Looking to Calder, snow for your evening as well, particularly around the foothills. 16 degrees though and sunny skies during the day. The rest of the Canterbury region can also expect that southwesterly change with a fine day. Southwesterly winds here bring a bit of rain in the evening for you guys. Looking to central Canterbury, that southerly change is pushing its way up through the afternoon further north, so you guys should be hitting that late afternoon with a few showers coming through then. 14 degrees for the high for Darfield. Heading further north, southwesterly winds here for everyone, and they could be bringing a bit of rain in the evening. 16 degrees though is the high for Culverden, Cheviot and Oxford, so not a bad Friday temperature. And over to the Alpine region, Arthur's Pass, you're on 8 degrees, could be a few heavy rain showers for you. Now unfortunately over the weekend we are expecting it to be quite cold, rain coming through Saturday morning and evening, a few drizzle patches during the day as well. 7 degrees there for Calder. A little bit different than we've been having with those warm temperatures this week. Unfortunately the cold temperatures are continuing on Sunday, but we are expecting a dry day with just a few drizzle patches here and there for some. Saturday for the rest of the Canterbury region is looking cold and quite bleak across the board. Southerly winds there for most of the day and snow to 300 metres for Banks Peninsula and to the foothills for Calder and the Port Hills for you Christchurch. Sunday, however, looking drier, a few rain showers here and there, and still could be a little bit of snow to 400 metres for North Canterbury. So we are expecting a mostly dry day tomorrow. However, tomorrow evening, that cold southerly is coming through, bringing showers and that cold weather lasting through the weekend. So if you're planning your weekend activities, maybe make them indoors. And that's your weather update for Thursday.
Thank you, Mercy. And that is CTV News for Thursday. Have a great evening.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.